up, y'all? I'm by myself right now. Low-key, that's Danny's car. I'm at Danny's place, but like he's a bit sleepy, so I'm gonna just start this by myself. I guess today's gonna be more of a chill maintenance type of day, you know. Time to do a couple things, including cleaning out my air filter, oil change, emptying out my dual catch cans, and go for a car wash because this thing is really dirty. Like, watch this. Yeah, this always happens when I like drive back and forth. I just hit a bunch of bugs on the way up and down, and I feel kind of bad. Specifically, it's weird because when I'm down here, I wash the car, it's clean for like a day or two, and then I drive back up and it's dirty anyway. But if I don't wash the car frequently, like, the bugs will just become a graveyard. It's disgusting. Let's get started with the air filter. Basically, all you'll need to clean the air filter. So for context, I have a Grim Speed drop-in air filter. It's a dry system, so this only applies for dry systems. There are oiled filters, and you have to go through a completely different process for that. But I have this AEM cleaner right here that works specifically for dry filters. Just keep that in mind. This is another warning. This is for dry filters. But specifically, all you really need to do is grab the filter, spray that on there, let it soak for a little bit, let it do its dissolving thing, rinse it off, and let it dry. Damn, maybe I need to do some interior wash. This is just straight up filthy. But yeah, a big problem with these WRXs. Oh, why is there sticky liquid right there? One of the big problems with the WRX is that there's like zero room to get this air filter out. And normally I'll just take this off, but to take this off, I kind of did a goofy, because with this charge speed cooling plate, I can't just rip this off. I have to basically rip off the whole bumper to get this air box out. So I'll try to figure it out. Also, because of the placement of the catch cans, I kind of limited that range of motion. Probably didn't think too far in advance before doing all this stuff, but see if I can just pry this. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and take this out real quick so that I can get a little bit more wiggle room. Hopefully I can push this part of the air box or the cover out so I can just pull out the air filter. To take this off specifically, it's pretty easy. You just have an Allen key right there, and on this side you have a little nut. Now loosen those up and you just lift up the assembly. And you know, I don't really have access to Danny's toolkit right now, but thankfully, oh, my handle's broken, but thankfully I carry a whole garage in my trunk, so I can start this by myself. So for the Radium dual catch can systems, if you already installed this, but maybe you just forgot the size of everything, that is going to be a 4mm hex nut. You just kind of feed it in there somehow. There you go. After you get just a couple of turns, you don't need to do too much. You can really lift it out basically. And the second thing you need to loosen is this nut right here. It's actually a 13mm. So just gonna go ahead and pull a little lefty loosey on that too. They're just super tight fitting, but yeah, you can just lift that out right there. I'm just gonna kind of just leave that on the side for now. Hopefully the hoses are okay. And now I'm just gonna tighten that again. Actually, it doesn't even budge. Should be okay. But hopefully that'll give me some extra room to fold this back a little bit more and to pop out the air filter. I just wanted to bring this into the shade to show you. This is like 12K miles. You can really tell I drive and kill those bugs. I'm sorry, PETA, if this bothers you, but you can literally just see bugs in between the crevices of everything. And then this is the clean side, so it should look clean. But first, we're gonna go and just knock out any of the debris that you see over here. When you do this kind of stuff, you want to be gentle, because like banging it harshly against like the ground or something like that can actually like bend these metal parts apparently. So you do have to be kind of gentle. I just kind of like pat in the back, kind of like that. you know. But definitely not like so rough as to slam it against the floor type of vibe. I heard pressurized air can work, but some people say even that's a little too rough for the air filter. And I hope it isn't too rough on the filter itself. I'm actually just gonna grab a stick, in this case an Allen key, and try to brush off any of the remaining large chunks of bugs and stuff that I really just don't want to budge, because done all the patting I can. Yeah, it looks majority okay. Majority. There you go. If you open up the flap, each individual flap, maybe you can get a little more. I think I've gotten as much debris out as I comfortably can get without like being too harsh on it. Now we're just gonna spray a liberal amount of that dissolving solution. I don't know if you can see it on the video. It definitely doesn't look vibrantly red. There is dust, especially on like this part right here. If you look on the side, it's pretty dusty on this specific patch, and this one looks a little cleaner. But we're gonna go ahead and spray it on both sides, let it sit for around 20 minutes, and we'll be back. Cool. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and grab the dry cleaner and spray a liberal amount on both sides. Alright, use a little more. Just a little fairway. Alright, that should be good. Now we wait 20 minutes. And I guess while we wait, I'll discuss more about why I decided to use a drop-in filter, if it matters if it's oils or not, etc., versus just buying a regular air filter. So my first thing is, I bought this air filter 24k miles ago. So at 24k miles, my car's at 48k right now, for context. And I knew the earlier I bought it, the more money I'd save in the future on air filters anyway. I bought this on sale, so it was 60 bucks at the time. That's 3 regular air filters that you buy from like AutoZone, like the cheapo version, you know. So in 36k miles, it would have been the same price, but I reduced waste. I basically saved 3 trips to AutoZone just to buy an air filter type of thing. And a lot of the reason why people don't like these drop-in filters as much is because they claim, people just believe it doesn't really help your car at all. Like, people will say like it's basically just the same, just more expensive in marketing, but I honestly feel a difference. I don't have any dyno numbers specifically, so I can't really say for sure, but I do know for sure that my car does feel more responsive. I can actually hear more of like the turbo noises you get from a big air intake that you'd get. Not as much, of course, but I hear some now, and that's pretty cool considering I'm a full stock car. In the engine bay, all I have is the drop-in air filter and then the radium dual catch cans at the moment. For people who don't desire to buy a Cobb anxiety port, aka the access port, I think that this is definitely a good middle ground. Just because I'm driving up and down, I don't really need to stress about that kind of stuff right now.
Ooh, everyone is here. All the boys have pulled up. Philip's car's on the side. Aha. Yeah. We're gonna help Brian finish the filter. He's gonna rinse that out, and we're gonna ready to go.
No, do you know what happens? Like, I feel like every car job we do, there's literally like one guy doing all the work and we all just look at him.
Yeah. Dude, we're all, that's the way to do it. We're all just kicking it.
Split air cleaning of it.
Yeah, we all have to hose it for 2 seconds each. Woohoo! All right, Brian, ready to go?
Yeah. You know, I've actually never used this hose before. Have you?
I have, but I think that's a brand new one.
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna be responsible for drying.
You need to spray.
You twist it. You twist the front to switch the setting.
I mean, you spray it from the clean side out. So in this case, it's gonna be the white side, or the you know, the side that's the flat. Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, teamwork.
Oh, teamwork. Look at
It's good.
Ooh, filter clean.
Yeah. Wait, actually, no, you shouldn't hold it. Just put it on the floor. I forgot there's chemicals.
Chemicals in his bloodstream. Hell yeah.
Yeah, we're just gonna rinse it until it stops bubbling, essentially. However long that takes. Man, I probably shouldn't have worn Crocs today. I'm gonna be honest here. But...
Oh, your toolbox fit.
Oh, thank you.
It's fine. It goes.
Oh, that's whatever. Yeah, we just rinse. It usually takes a while. I remember the first time we did this, I did it at Ryan's house, right? And I didn't know how long it would take to dry. I thought it'd be like 3-4 hours. Oh, I was wrong. Like, after waiting maybe 5-6 hours, I tried driving on it, and it was still like more than damp. It just like retained water like a sponge. So like, I actually sucked in a bunch of water into my engine. Got to check engine light. Like, screwed it with my MAF air sensor. Yeah, that was a fun day.
So long story short, he almost hydrolocked his engine.
Yep. I know it's kind of counterproductive, but while I wait for this to dry, I actually have a separate air filter just to use like temporarily while I wait for this to dry. I might get like 40 miles max on it, 50, 60 miles. Like while I just wait, so like I'll never have to throw it away, basically. Yeah, we just keep going until the water stops bubbling up, which takes a while.
Yep, and then afterwards, we're gonna go dry it.
Yep.
Probably just leave it in the sun, but we'd be good to go.
Yep. Alright, first we gotta get the car off the floor. So what I specifically do is I get off these ramps first, and then jack it up by the subframe in the front half of the body, essentially. Somewhere metal and solid. So I can get 2 jack stands underneath the pinch bolts.
Bryan,
No, that's an oil. Yo, what's up?
are you planning to jack up the car from your oil pan?
No, I did say a solid metal point, didn't I?
You did say that,
Oil pan is a solid metal point.
but not the oil pan.
After getting the front of the car on 2 jack stands, we're gonna go under the car and find the drain bolt plug. Wait, but before that, I forgot. We gotta open the car real quick. Oh shoot. I think like opening this will let it drain a little faster. There we go. Cool. Under the car, you're gonna locate your oil drain plug. Normally this is just gonna be a nut that you have to unscrew. I actually have the Fumoto oil drain plug installed, so it's basically like a tap. I just flip the switch and it'll start pouring like this. Just push down and to the left if it wants, or there we go. And you're gonna let all that oil basically just drain out. Alright, cool. It's mostly drained out now. Normally you just replace the drain bolt, but I'm just gonna flick that and I'm done. Just wipe the remaining off, I guess. Yep. Let's get back on top of the car. Now we're gonna go replace the oil filter. Normally it's on the bottom of the car, but this car's cool. It's on top. Cool, and after you just twist it off, you'll be able to add your new oil filter in. Before you do, just make sure you like kind of have a little bit of the old oil. I literally just, I know you shouldn't do this, but I just grab my finger real quick and just kind of lubricate it right there. Apparently, old oil is actually better than new oil for this type of stuff. And then you just hand tighten it on. Just make sure to not make it too tight because you want to remove it next time. So just a bit more than hand tight should be good. There we go. Then you just gotta pour in the new oil. For this car, the 1521 WRX takes 5.5 quarts. That's a lot of oil, so just keep that in mind.
One.
Oh god. I use Motul specifically, and like, just put that down there for now. What's cool is that they have like a little spout, so it's a little easier to pour, but
Don't mess up.
I know, I'm pretty good at missing. I don't have a funnel.
Ooh, that's
God.
far.
Oh god. Oh, no! Okay. That's not good. Man, don't do this at home. Get a funnel. Don't be like me.
Definitely get a funnel.
I have a Bluetooth funnel.
I have one too. It's right here. All right, there you go. Don't spill, but that's what you're supposed to do. Yep.
And if you do spill, expect a little bit of steam or smoke once your engine burns it off. But don't freak out. It's okay. But try not to spill. I'm just gonna cut it, Bryan.
Yeah. All right, and then I'm gonna go ahead and empty out the catch cans as well. I think this side is generally pretty empty, and then this side is the one that's usually more full. But just lift and twist. You normally want to empty this. People do every around 2 to 3 oil changes. I've been doing every 2, just in case. But there shouldn't be much to begin with. Yeah, this side doesn't have that much. There we go. So I'm just gonna go ahead and dump that out and then do the other side as well. All right, and then this side should theoretically be more full. That's what I hear most people say. Come on, just a little more. Yeah, there's definitely a significantly larger amount in here for sure. There we go.
Right, so Bryan messed up. We spilled a little bit of oil, but no problem. Old school shop trick. Throw on the kitty litter, stamp it in, and it should absorb most of it and get it off your driveways. So let's get that done.
A good amount of it in. I don't know. Let's try this much for now. I'm fortunate my wife owns a cat, or we own a cat, I guess you could say. So
really get it in there.
Yeah, it's kind of just really. I don't know if there's any proper technique, but as you can see, it's working pretty well already.
Yep.
Technically, what's better, I think pressure washing actually does a better job overall.
Yeah, but we don't have access to that, and we don't want to go buy one, so kitty litter will do.
There we go. It's literally
and yeah, driveway is actually cleaner than the other spots.
Yeah. So now just sweep it up and throw it away.
Cool.
Quite a bit later, but I'm at the car wash. What I generally like to do is first actually hit my wheels with some of this. Honestly, I don't think it works that well, but it helps a little marginally against stuff like the brake dust. Ignore the curved wheels, but yeah, I just go ahead and hit this real quick with a generous amount, and I hope it can help me break the brake dust a little bit. All right, so I've let the product sit in for a couple minutes, and it's turned a different color. I think it was white before, and it's turned like this grayish purple kind of color. So I guess what I'll do next is actually start washing the car. I like to first do like a rinse. My car is really dusty, so that pre-rinse really helps with everything. Afterwards, I hit the tires and wheels with the brush if there is one. Afterwards, I'll do the typical pre-rinse, soap, rinse the soap, and then do whatever protectant that they provide, and then rinse again, if possible, preferably a low pressure type of rinse, and then whatever time I have left, if there's an air dry, then I'll go ahead and do that for the rest of the time I have remaining. I just finished washing the car. Unfortunately, my booth was kind of broken. Like, there wasn't soap, there wasn't the low pressure rinse type of thing. So I basically spent a bunch of time like waiting. I was like, oh, is the soap gonna work? Didn't really work. But let's get to drying. I typically like to do the windows last, and then usually top down. Not much else to say here. Just get some microfibers and go to town basically. Hopefully the air dry helped you a little bit. After you're done drying for the most part, it's time to add the finishing touches. I'm gonna be honest here, I don't like drying the roof of my car. Like, after adding this roof rack, like, I guess one negative that I didn't really think about was like drying the top of the car is a pain in the butt. I don't even bother anymore. Yeah. what I'm going to do specifically is for the tires. I personally have to like tire shine. I know it's going to like not last that long, but I like the aesthetics. And second, to protect my carbon fiber bits, I use like some sort of protecting like UV agent. I currently have this chemical guy's Hydro Shield. It's like advertised to work on plastics and stuff like that. But honestly, I'm not really like brand like I don't really have brand loyalty for these cleaning products. So if you guys know any that you like personally for any of the products that I use today, including the wheel cleaner, the tire shine, or something to protect your like plastic bits, carbon fiber bits, let me know in the comments. And after all is said and done, here's my car after. I personally like tire shine because without it, I feel like the tires look really dull and it really doesn't really like match the gloss black look. But there you go, not too shabby, you know, all in a day's work. And there you go, car is washed. I think considering that I didn't have soap, I think it didn't turn out too bad. But you should have washed your car regularly. It's good for your car in the long run, because letting all that like insect guts, all the bird poop, all the dust and debris sit on there in the long term really eats at your clear coat, and your paint's gonna last a lot longer if all you do is wash it. You know, I like to try to do mine at least once every 2 weeks, but once a week is pretty ideal if you have it outside kept. Anyway, I'll stop yapping. Have a nice day, everyone. See you in the next episode.